Hello everybody. It was pretty close into the second quarter when the Warriors pulled out for the first time the new Smallball Death Lineup with Draymond, Klay, Steph, Andrew Wiggins, and Jordan Poole. Steph and Klay will go towards each other, threatening a split cut, and so these two men are going to get ready to switch defensive assignments. Aaron Gordon calling for the switch, and now Steph is going to test Aaron Gordon's off-ball guarding capabilities by doing a quick cut towards the basket, and Aaron Gordon will sell out hard, and then the split second that he turns his head, Steph is going to reverse and pop out to the wing. Draymond sees all and leads Steph with a nice pass. Aaron Gordon does get a contest, but Steph was trying to find his rhythm after being out for several weeks, and he just misses the shot. Aaron Gordon is being guarded by Andrew Wiggins, and for some reason, the Nuggets seem to think this is a good matchup for them. It's very strange because why not post up Poole or Steph Curry? Even Aaron Gordon doesn't seem certain. He'll throw the ball out to Jokic, and Jokic says, nah, go for this, man. So he throws it right back. Jokic definitely looked tired at points, but I don't think that means you should have Aaron Gordon ISOing Andrew Wiggins and just pulling up. The Warriors keep up the pace, kick it over to Andrew Wiggins, who now has an ISO on Jokic at the arc, and he just tries to blow by. I think Wiggins was prepared for more contact than there was, and so he just kind of ends up unexpectedly having access to the rim, and he just misses it. Jokic is busting his butt to try to get down. We're gonna have a free drive to the basket, and Draymond will switch over to meet the drive. Monte dribbles out, and I think he's hoping Draymond will follow him, so he throws it out and offers to have a little give and go, but instead of Draymond following Monte Morris, very smoothly Steph Curry says, I'll take on the small guy, I got you, and he will follow. And temporarily, Wiggins has been marking Jokic this whole time, but now this will give Draymond a chance to switch over to Jokic. Draymond does fight, but he also does get a nice fistful of Jokic's jersey on this one, and he gets called for the foul. This is a good simple play. The ball's up top, feeds Jokic at the top of the key, and then it looks like he's going to sweep around and come get a dribble handoff from Jokic. And so Steph is doing a pretty good job of stopping the man coming to the handoff. And so the man says, fine, you don't want me to go this way, I'll go that way. And he just cuts backdoor on Steph. And Steph reacts pretty fast, but Jokic finds microsecond where the man is open, and he hits him with a beautiful bounce pass. Wiggins is forced to rotate, which means that Wiggins' man, Jeff Green, can cut to the basket. I don't really know who's at fault here. Maybe this pass was just too hard to handle, or maybe Jeff Green needed to be readier to catch this. Quick high pick and roll here. Draymond coming to set the screen. Jokic tends to play in drop position so that he can defend the paint, but also so that when people turn the corner, they won't just blow by him. He'll have lots of space to turn around and follow. But in this lineup, everybody in the Warriors, Klay, Poole, Wiggins, Steph, they can all hit an open pull-up three. And Jokic is dropped too far back to contest this, and Jordan Poole drills it. Klay on Aaron Gordon, and there was this whole soap opera because a few plays ago, Klay and Aaron Gordon got dual technicals just for trash talking each other, I think. And so every time Aaron Gordon touched the ball for the rest of the night, the crowd went nuts, hoping he would fail at whatever he was trying to do. Like if he was trying to shoot a free throw, boo. If he was trying to give the ball back to the ref, they were hoping he'd throw it off his own face. You know, it was a definite grudge match territory for Aaron Gordon. But this is a simple horns play. So horns means elbows, ball at the top, men in the corners, and the ball just enters to Jokic, and then this person will set a back screen for Aaron Gordon, who cuts to the basket. So this back screen is not all that subtle, but it's effective, and Aaron Gordon is going to turn the corner. Draymond sees all, and he decides he needs to rotate. The natural person to rotate here would be Andrew Wiggins, but Aaron Gordon is pretty athletic. A beautiful pass, but Draymond helps off of Jokic. Wiggins does rotate. If Draymond weren't here, I think Aaron Gordon could have finished this because he does end up going by Wiggins. But since Draymond's here, he has two men to beat with this dribble move. It's possible that maybe in a perfect world, he would know that Jokic is open and Jokic is cutting to the basket, and maybe he can hit Jokic back with a pass. But that's not what Aaron Gordon was seeing. That is a tough layup. And Klay, with the low-key good play here, boxing out Jokic to pick up this rebound. At this point, Poole thinks, hey, I'm in the open court, I'm hot tonight, let's just do this. The first crossover to go to the right, and then he's got a Euro step from way out. At this point, this does not look very promising. He's got one step, and then trying the second step to the side. The defender pushing his face in over here. He gets the whistle. At this point, this is just a free play, and so he decides, I'm going to try to bank it over my head, and it is successful. But first we're going to get the defender whacking Poole's arm, and then just for good measure, I mean, once you got one foul, you're not going to get two fouls on the same play, right? So it's like a 2-for-1 deal. Now the defender's going to bonk Poole on top of the head. Ponk. Poole knows this is freebie time. Yes. Okay, at this point, Denver trying to get Draymond off of Jokic, so they send Monte Morris to come over and screen Draymond to try to force a switch, and Klay falls right into the trap. He jumps over to stay on Jokic. Monte Morris tries to lock in the switch by just grabbing Draymond. So now Klay has to guard Jokic, and Jokic immediately turns and tries to run a pick and roll. So Denver definitely trying to counter the Dre guarding Jokic defense. So Jokic sets a screen. Steph goes over the screen. Klay is going to just meet the defender on the other side of the screen, which means Jokic can set his pick and flare out to the side. So this is good for Denver. Unfortunately, Steph gets right in the face of Will Barton, so there's no easy pass to go back to the open Jokic. Kind of a panic pass right over Jokic's head and into the stands. Jokic tries to say that it was deflected by Steph, but the referee does not agree with you. Poole runs over to the referee trying to get the ball back into play really fast because Denver is looking a little annoyed about that call. Jokic is still complaining to the ref. These guys are kind of lollygagging. Poole gets it, throws it right back to Draymond, who's running over, trying to keep the pace up. Denver's in a bit of disarray. Jeff Green's pointing over here. Who's got who? These three guys are trying to figure out who's guarding Steph and Wiggins. And Klay has just wandered all the way into the deep corner, so Draymond just bullets a pass to Klay. Jokic spots it. He's just trying to play catch-up at this point. Klay with the ball fake and just goes right around Jokic. The defense is a little off balance. Jeff Green is rotating, but not fast enough. Monte Morris ISO Steph at the top. Steph does not a bad job of staying with Morris, and then Steph finds his inner Andre and tries to swipe down on the ball. Steph definitely believes that it's off of Morris, and he is so certain that he is pointing the other way, and he is running down court. This is not a lot of space considering how well Draymond contests, but Jokic ends up taking the shot. It's almost like he thought that this is a rare moment when Draymond's not in my shorts, so I should take advantage of this. I really like this play. I feel like this is trying to pick on the Jokic drop defense. So Draymond coming over to set the screen for Jordan Poole. Jokic is still dropped back, but not as severely as he was before. So before the new death lineup came in, Jokic was dropped back in the paint. Now he's a little closer to the level of the screen, but he's still dropped back. But most importantly, he's going to be located here on Poole's left side in order to prevent Poole from blowing by. So knowing that Jokic is going to be situated here, Draymond starts to set the screen and then immediately slips it. Now he's going to set a screen for Klay over here, and Steph is going to come over and set a screen for Klay. Now Klay will have a stagger screen to run around. Jokic start up over here, so now he's behind the play and he's off balance. He just ends up dropping back to the nail here. Draymond now has this off ball screen and he nails Klay's man. Klay comes around clean, unabated. Poole hits him with the pass. Klay is super open here. Jokic has dropped back so far he can never challenge this. Cash money. Here Denver runs several pick and rolls with Jokic screening Steph, so they definitely are trying to get Steph to switch to Jokic. Jokic did get contact, but Steph fought through it very nicely. Draymond is dropped back here to deter this drive. Jokic is rolling to try to punish Draymond's drop, but Steph goes hard and he manages to catch up to the ball handler and stop any kind of pocket pass right away. So Monte Morris does kind of shot put a pass over to Jokic. Draymond had dropped in order to stop this drive. So Jokic has a couple of feet to work with, but Draymond is fast, so he closes out immediately on Jokic and he misses. I think the Warriors believe Aaron Gordon falls asleep when he's playing off-ball defense. He has a reputation as a decent defender. Here Steph and Klay run at each other, and Denver just will switch for anything remotely resembling a screen. Jeff Green will come over and take Klay. Aaron Gordon will take Steph. Aaron Gordon is looking at his shiny new defendee, and then he's going to turn around and peek at what's happening in the play. And the second that he peeks, Steph is already in motion. He's just going to cut behind his back straight into the paint. Gordon tries catching up, but it's just a split second too late. Nice bounce pass from Draymond. Steph will have the open layup. Kind of amazing that Gordon can get to that, but that's a goaltend. After the TV timeout, the Warriors come out playing, it looks like a 1-2-2 zone. Denver ends up with a one-on-one ISO of Jokic on Draymond. Jokic pulls out a move that he just used earlier this quarter on Looney, where he's going to drive hard with his shoulder left and then suddenly spin to the right. So here's what that move looked like when Jokic was being guarded by Looney. Power move, using his shoulder going to the left, and then sudden spin to the right. Sweet move. And Draymond Green had a front row seat to see this move, and he definitely put that into his computer database of Jokic moves. Do you get the feeling Draymond was sitting on this move here? He banged with Jokic, trying to keep him from getting to a spot, and then now Jokic going for the quick spin. Draymond is already ahead of him. He's also moving to the left. Jokic sees if a second spin will do any good. Very tricky stuff. He does get off this micro hook shot, and he misses. Nice defense from Draymond, not getting bullied by the much bigger Jokic. This ball swings over to Wiggins, and Steph says, all right, I'm going to just clear out and let Wiggins ISO. But amazingly, Steph's man does not follow Steph. So his man does not appear to realize that no one ever got fired for following Steph, even when Steph's rusty. And now he switches over. I think he was afraid Wiggins was going to turn the corner on his man and just get to the rim unabated. The Nuggets have 2 on the ball, so Wiggins just ejects the ball out to the nearest man, Steph. Jeff Green doing a closeout. He ends up going past Steph. Things are all scattered. Jokic is sunk back to stop Steph from getting all the way to the rim. Aaron Gordon appears to be sort of switching on to Steph, but he gives him plenty of space. So Steph just goes to the soft spot at the elbow. Steph just goes for the floater, I guess, to get it out of his hands fast, and it misses. Andrew Wiggins, he never stopped moving, and he cut all the way to the basket, and he makes this incredible move. There are 3 Denver defenders who are ready to rebound this thing, and Wiggins just haikus this ball out of there. He lands. He would have had it too, except for this contest from Monte Morris. Bonk. Back to the Warriors. So huge hustle play from Andrew Wiggins. This looks like a simple play. Steph inbounds it to Draymond. Steph cuts behind and gets a dribble handoff from Draymond, right? Certainly, Steph's man is following him. I guess the memo has gotten around that no one will be fired for following Steph. Jokic looks like he's leaning this way just in case Steph's man gets nailed by the screen. Jokic doesn't commit much, but it's just enough for Draymond to turn and say, psych, this was a fake handoff. He got past Jokic. Jeff Green rotates quickly to stop Draymond's drive, which leaves Andrew Wiggins open, and the only one who can switch to him is Aaron Gordon. And Aaron Gordon is on the wrong side of Wiggins. Sweet little pass from Draymond. Good catch from Wiggins. Jokic comes flying in to try to block this, but Aaron Gordon goes over the top of Wiggins. Bonk. And that's 2 free throws. The Warriors are back in their gimmick zone. This 1-2-2 zone is kind of a weird defense to play Denver, because typically one way to beat the zone is to put a big man in this soft spot right in the middle of the zone, and Jokic would certainly love to be in the soft spot. He puts his body into Wiggins, almost like he's posting him up right here, and then he invites the entry pass, and so now he's sealed off Wiggins, and so he can just pivot, and now he's in the soft middle of the zone. Draymond is helping off of Will Barton in order to prevent Jokic from getting all the way to the basket. And so Jokic says, I've got a floater game too, let me show you. That is pretty. Okay, the Warriors' one end of quarter play, it's the Klay play. It always starts with a pin down, and somebody comes up and sets a screen, which is usually immediately slipped. In the background over here, sometimes the person who sets the pin down is the one who pops out and gets a pin-in screen. In this case, it looks like it's Andrew Wiggins who's running through, and he's going to get a screen from Poole and a screen from Draymond Green. However, Denver's a little bit confused in how they want to cover this. Jokic seems to be directing traffic, and he seems to be telling Aaron Gordon that he should go over and cover Draymond, presumably so Jokic can stay in the paint here. And Jokic keeps on waving, hey, yo, Aaron, go switch on to Draymond. And Aaron just refuses to switch. Jokic tries pushing him physically towards Draymond, and Gordon is just in full you're not the boss of me mode, and he just stays not guarding Draymond. So Jokic says, fine, I gotta go guard this guy. So in the meantime, Draymond and Steph have been negotiating this, and Draymond's saying, hey, just give me the ball, no one's guarding me. So Steph says, fine, I'll throw you the ball as long as you give it to me right back with a little handoff. Steph starts cutting this way. Barton says, that would be terrible if Steph got the ball back, so I'm going to intercept this. So he runs hard to stop Steph and try to bully him off of this handoff. And so Steph says, that's fine, I can flow like water. I'll send you this way, and I'm going to suddenly go the other way. So he gets Barton completely turned around. Steph got pretty far open. Draymond sees all, so he was ahead of this, and he hit Steph for this very wide open three and very wide closed three. And that's Steph's first three in a while, his first three in his comeback today. And that's how you turn a 3-point deficit into an 11-point lead in just a few minutes. And the Warriors never really let go of this lead. Let's have a celebration audit. Let's see how excited everyone is for Curry's first three in his comeback. And we've got his daughter Riley looking somewhat awake, borderline awake. We've got Ryan looking even less awake. We've got Ken and Curry, who looks a lot like he could use some candy. Aisha's happy. Seidel is happy. And okay, Seidel is going to make Ryan enjoy the moment by puppeteering her. She's actually grabbed both of her arms, and she's gonna throw her arms in the air like she just doesn't care. And that would be because Ryan doesn't care. Well, what can you say? They're kids. They sat through an hour plus of really loud people yelling and then kind of looking at their dad as this little speck on the court. So can't 100% blame them. I think they could use a treat or something.